Now let us discuss about unification algorithm in artificial intelligence. Unification algorithm is mainly useful in resolution, in propositional logic as well as predicate logic or first order logic. We uses unification algorithm. First, let's see what is unification. Unification is a process of making two expressions as identical by determining suitable substitution of variables. So, by using unification, we can make two expressions as identical by determining the suitable substitution of variables. Let us take an example. Let we have two expressions like this. Let the first expression is p of x comma y. Second expression is p of a comma b. We can make these two expressions as identical with the help of the unification. Here, in order to perform the unification, we have two conditions. The first condition is the predicate symbol must be same in both the expressions. What is the predicate symbol in the first expression? P. Predicate symbol in the second expression? P. Both are same. Next, number of arguments must be same in both the expressions. So first expression here we have two arguments. Second expression also we have two arguments. So we can apply the unification by performing substitution of the variables. Here what is the modification? In place of this x, we have to replace with a. So here the first substitution is in place of x, substitute with a. So then it will become in place of x, substitute with a. Next, in place of y, substitute with b. In place of y, substitute with b. So b. Then the first expression as well as second expression, both are equal. So this is called as unification. So for this we are using the unification algorithm. Okay. So let us erase this space. So let's see the unification algorithm. So here name of the algorithm is unify. Here we have two arguments L1 comma L2. L1 is predicate 1 first argument. If you see this example, here this is predicate 1. What is the first argument? X. So this is L1. Whereas L2 is predicate 2 first argument. Here what is second predicate? This one. What is the first argument here? A. So we are comparing x with a. Next, in the next iteration, second argument of the first predicate will be compared with second argument of the second predicate. So in the first step, what is L1? L1 means predicate 1 first argument. What is L2? Predicate 2 first argument. So let us see the steps. Totally here in this algorithm we have 5 steps. Step 1. If L1 and L2 are both variables or constants. So that means here if L1 is variable, then L2 must also be a variable. If L1 is a constant, then L2 must always be a constant. Then A, 1A. If L1 and L2 are identical, then return nil. So that means if the first argument is like this, P of x, second argument is P of x, second expression. Let the first expression is P of x, second expression is P of x. Here what is the predicate symbol? P. Here what is the predicate symbol? B. P. Both the predicate symbols are same. As well as number of arguments must also be same. Here totally we have one argument. Here also we have one argument. So we can do the unification. Here what is L1? L1 means predicate 1 first argument. What is L2? Predicate 2 first argument. Here if L1 and L2 are same. Here what is L1? X. What is L2? X. Both are same. Then there is no need of any substitution. Why? Because both are same only. So there is no need of any substitution if L1 and L2 are identical, same. So that's why written nil. So nil specifies that no need of any substitution. Next, B bit. So in step 1, this is B bit. So this is this is A bit. What is A bit? If L1 and L2 are identical, then return nil. Next, 1b. Else if L1 is a variable, then if L1 occurs in L2, then return fail. Let the first one is P of X, whereas let the second predicate is like this, P of G of X. So here what is L1? X. What is L2? G of X. What is L2? G of X. What is this X? This X is nothing but L1. So this is the statement. Else if L1 is a variable, here L1 is a variable, then if L1 occurs in L2, here L1 is X, which occurs in L2, G of X, then return fail. Why? Because now in order to make these two as same, what we have to do? In place of X, we have to replace with G of X. So in place of X, replace with G of X. Now both these are same. But what is X? X means G of X. So once again, in place of this X, we have to replace with G of X. What is this X? This X means G of X. So likewise, recursively, we have to do the substitution. So that's why if L1 is a variable, then if L1 occurs in L2, then return fail. Else return L2 by L1. So that means if L1 and L2 are different, so let L1 is X, whereas L2 is Y. So now L1 and L2 are different. Then what we have to do? In place of this X, replace with Y. So in place of X, replace with Y. So now it will become P of Y. So what is Y? Y means L2. What is X? L1. So that is the statement. Else return L2 by L1. So Y means L2, X means L1. So what is the point here? Else if L1 is a variable, then if L1 occurs in L2, then return fail. Else return L2 by L1. C is reverse. If L2 is a variable, then if L2 occurs in L2, then if L2 occurs in L1, then return fail. Else return L1 by L2. So this is reverse. Else if in place of L1, so what is C point? Else if L2 is a variable, then if L2 occurs in place of L2, we have to write L1. In place of L1, we need to write L2. Else if L2 occurs in L1, then return fail. Otherwise, else return in place of L2, we need to write L1 by L2. That is C. So this is step 1. Next is step 2. When unification is possible, when the predicate symbols are same in both the expressions. That is the point. Step 2. Predicate symbols must be same. Otherwise, return fail. So if the predicate symbols are same, then only we can do the unification. Let here the predicate symbol is P. Let here the predicate symbol is Q. Then unification is not possible. So we have to return fail. Next, step 3. Number of arguments must be same in both the expressions. Otherwise, return fail. Here we have one expression. Here also we have one expression. So if the predicate symbols are same and number of arguments are same, then we can do the unification. Whereas let us assume that here in place of instead of one, we have two arguments. So here we have one argument, here we have two arguments. Then unification is not possible. Next point. Step 4. Set sub ST. What is sub ST? Substitution set to null. So initially we are taking a variable called sub ST. Sub ST contains null. At the end of the procedure, substitution set contains all the substitution related statements. So let we have a statement like this. P of x comma y is the first expression, and the second expression is P of A comma B. So what is sub ST now? Initially sub ST contains nil. So pi. So pi means nil. Next, sub ST contains first replacement. What is the first replacement? In place of x, we need to replace with a. So a by x. So this is the first replacement. In place of this x, replace with a. In the next iteration, L1 becomes y, L2 becomes b. So in place of y, we have to replace with b. So this is sub ST. Initially sub ST contains nil. At the end of the procedure, sub ST contains all the substitution of variables or constants or functions. So we may have variables. Instead of variables, we have constants, or we have some functions also. Next step, last step, step 5. For I is equal to 1 to number of elements in L1. Elements are arguments. So initially we are considering the first argument. Next we need to focus on the second argument. Likewise the procedure will done. Next step, 5a. Call unify with ith argument of L1 and ith argument of L2 and put the result in yes. So first we have to take ith argument of L1. What is the ith argument of L1? Call unify with ith argument of L1. This is nothing but ith argument. So first argument of this expression is x. So first argument of this expression is a. So first we have to do these two substitutions. So we need to store this substitution in a variable called s. So now s contains a by x. Next step, b. If s not equal to nil, if s doesn't contain any substitutions, then if s doesn't contain any substitution, that means s is having some substitution. If s not equal to nil, then do this procedure. Whereas if s equal to nil means there are no substitutions. Then there is no need to execute this statement. Return that sub ST. Okay. If s not equal to null, that means if we have some substitution of the variables, then do it. Apply s to remainder of both L1 and L2. So here the first argument is over. Now we need to compare with this argument. Second argument of this one with second argument of this one. Okay. Again we need to do the substitution. So now s will contains b by y. So now we have to store that s in, here we have a variable called sub ST. We have a variable called sub ST. So we need to store that s result in sub ST. So s contains only one substitution, whereas sub ST contains the entire substitutions. So the statement is sub ST equal to append of s comma sub ST. So we are appending the content of s to sub ST. So initially s contains a by x. So that a by x will be appended to sub ST. Next s will contain b by y. So that b by y will be appended to sub ST. Now sub ST contains both the substitutions a by x and b by y. So return sub ST. So what is the substitution set here? A by x, b by y. So this is nothing but unification algorithm. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, as well as share the channel with your friends. Thanks for watching.